4,000 Missouri families no longer have to worry about losing their school scholarships. A Cole County judge denied Missouri National Educators Association's attempt to stop the state's Missouri Scholars Program. Hannah Falcon breaks down the ruling.
School choice advocates are celebrating as a Cole County judge throws out a lawsuit that was trying to get rid of a program that uses public money for private school scholarships. The $51 million program pays for low-income Missouri families to receive specialized education at the school of their choice. Brian Cleveland represented 3 Missouri families in the lawsuit who were already using the program and worried about losing it.
Enabled them to not only get the best education environment for all of their children, but also to be able to have the funds for needed expenses, whether that be a reading tutor in one instance or a computer for homework in another instance.
The Missouri National Educators Association filed the lawsuit last year after the governor signed a budget that puts $51 million toward private school vouchers.
This is about students and schools having access, and every public school welcomes every child, and if you're going to take public dollars, you have to do that as a private school too.
Mark Jones with NEA says students everywhere lose under this program.
So when we take $60 million away from public schools and hand them to schools that can discriminate against your kid for any reason they want, that really hurts every student in the state of Missouri.
But Cleveland, who works with families across the country, says school choice programs are spreading to many different states.
And as parents are having more interest in having these options available, they're seeing more interest in legislatures to adopt these sorts of programs to meet parent demand to actually have the resources where these options are available not just to wealthy families, but to all families.
But this may not be the end of the fight. NEA tells me they're working on an appeal to try to get this lawsuit taken up by the Missouri Supreme Court. Reporting in Jefferson City, I'm Hannah Falcon.